Hello, welcome to my channel. This is a project I worked on today. There used to be just the one shelf unit that was over there with the shelves with the more shelves than this one. And this was in another room. So I brought it out here because I wanted a place to park my kitchen island. Yes, I'm aware that's a garage storage unit. But I wanted something with multiple shallow shelves and one deep shelf that wasn't I didn't care about that one way or the other, but it's worked out really nicely. A lot of islands, even if they're on wheels, the kitchen islands are as much as this thing, but they don't hold up, especially if you do plan on moving them around. And this one gets moved around. It even goes into the dining room, can serve as an additional buffet space, and they just don't hold up. So this is holding up really well. It does lock, so if I want to lock it, but it was always taking up floor space here in the kitchen, always around here somewhere. And I wanted to be a place where I could park it, where it's minimizing, so you know it still sticks out. And I'm also storing some grill stuff back here, so not an issue. And I've got some hooks over here. And this cutting board is screwed in there. I'd like to find some nicer screws, but for now that works because there was no lip, and I needed a lip to for some of my kitchen gadgets, my applesauce or tomato sauce making Italian gadget. So now I was able to clamp them on here or use their little twist things that came with it. So this is why it's screwed on, and I debated doing the other side. I've got another cutting board like this. I've got several, you'll see. When that other shelf was just up there against this wall, it's it took up a little bit more wall space than this is. But it got very crowded, and there was always stuff in front of it. So I'm working on that. And so this way, I've got to keep this pathway cleared. It did, I just did it and I'm still tweaking it. So most of my often used cooking utensils are right here. Those are extra lids. A lot of the cast iron things we use don't have lids. And those are extra lids up there. They don't go to anything. And that is pretty much like how I had it before, with this on the side over here where we can easily access those lids. But with things on the floor, it was, having to move things around to access I've got assortment of mixing bowls, bake pans over there, and there's all my cutting boards. Well, not all of them actually, anyway. All my big ones. So I wanted to have easy access. Whether this island is in place or not, I can reach those easily. My little rigged up paper towel for now. I'm going to work on that. And most of the cast iron we use more on a daily basis or an easy reach right here. We use that a lot. And let's lower it. The oven, that gets used much more than the big oven, unless there's something that requires a pan that won't fit in there. I don't use the big oven. That one's a lot easier. This is new setup. Most of those used to hang. So now I've got those. Those are the ceramic non-stick. Before Dollar Tree started carrying these, I was trying to find S-hooks. And it's hard to find these hooks. They tended to be fatter, and you can look up S-hooks at Lowe's, and they weren't like this. I wanted something thinner because the holes on some of these that I wanted to hang were not that big. The S-hooks that you could buy were like this, and it was a complete S, so it didn't have a small or big. It was the same size on both, and they didn't really hang that well. And then I found these. These are bungee cords, and they come with the S-hooks. So a lot of bungee cords I've got now are hookless. But I've rigged other ways to use them depending on if you need to move them around. But I just wanted to share that, you know, Dollar Tree and using tie wraps. So that's why I left those tools out, the scissors and the pliers, because I needed the pliers because I couldn't hold them tight enough. So the pliers did that trick. I'm just going to hang this here for now. And you can see my cast iron collection. So I've got room for more stuff now. Now I'm getting rid of that one up top. I've never used it. I'm not going to use it. It's damaged beyond my capacity. There's even a crack in it. That's a homemade jobby that someone actually did with the pipe, cast iron pipe cap. I think you can actually see the threads on the inside, and they made that. That's a Chinese job, and it's a lot lighter than the American made for that same size. I decided not to get one that size because it was just too heavy when it was empty. Definitely not something I would move around myself. But now it's a cheaper Chinese made, and it is much lighter. And with talking to some people that's been using that, they've not had any issues with it. So here we've got my stainless steel cookware. And let's get down. Got room here. More smaller mixing bowls are up here, as well as hanging on a wall area. Now, the reason we have so many little saucepans is that we don't have a microwave. We've not had a microwave in this home, and so all these little saucepans is what we use to reheat food. That's worked well for us. That's our wok, and that's how my husband pops popcorn. Our bigger Dutch ovens, one of my pressure canners, and one of my stock pots. I got 2 of those, and I've got the other ones put away because I rarely use both, but now and then I do. I want to pretty this up some, but this is what's working. This was the shelf that was by itself, and it had hooks on both sides, and I had both of the metal shelves up. I mean, not metal, the white wire shelves. Had 2 of them, and they're stacked. Now they're back to back. So I got a little bit more room, playing around with different ideas. Maybe put my most used crock pot in here. I feel like this is wasted shelf, so I got some tall things I'm going to put in here. And probably try to find hanging space. So I've got my 2 bigger cast iron frying pans over here, and these are actually sauce. Let me show you. And they get used. And sometimes if I want to make a big batch of chai tea, this is what I use. Anyway, my spice chai mix that I do. So this will do more than the 2 cups that my little saucier does. And that's also, I don't use this as much. I may get rid of this or gift it. And back to the island. Isn't that copper thing so cute? It's got black pepper in it, along with a copper measuring spoon. And I need to work on all this. Good chopsticks. Everyday chopsticks. Kimbap or sushi. My measuring stuff, some of them, not all of them. You can see all the serving stuff. And I definitely need to clean all these out. Take them out, it's been a while. And clean the drawers out real well. Why do I need that many scissors? Because we like to eat crab legs whenever we get a good deal, which has been way too long since the last good deal. So I need to watch the sales flyers and see who's got crab legs for sale. And we'll have a big outing. And the scissors work better for cutting, especially vertically into you know, crab leg piece going that way. You can break them in half, but they always get stuck. So, let's see, the other one's got baking stuff. And the oyster knives. And these, if you saw my other video, I prefer these metal ones over the wire ones. Got a wire one here. And these are stainless steel, so I don't have to worry about the rust on these. But I do plan on, the reason I did this over the other projects, like my bathroom and bedroom stuff that I've got that's ongoing right now, is that I'm doing a cooking class Saturday. And I wanted to have this area under control with room for both of us to be doing stuff comfortably. So I'm working on the kitchen, and I like this. Originally that wire shelf, when it was against the wall, it was a temporary. It was, I tried putting the refrigerator there initially, and it just didn't work. And you didn't have any place to, if you're pulling stuff out, it wasn't, you know, convenient to just put something down. So we ended up putting the refrigerator way over in the next room, on the other side of this closet that's there. And it was temporary, but we really liked it. And I'm not going for a restaurant vibe. That's not homey to me. But, and that was on took up counter space, and I put it over here, and that's worked out really well. The heat definitely comes up, but it's not going to bother the cast iron. So I may have to move that wire rack, that white wire rack that's holding those vertically, because I don't know if that would bother the heat. But the heat's not really coming up that much from there like I thought it was. So I'm surprised that this is working, and I had this in the spare bedroom, and it had only the 3 shelves on it, which worked out perfectly because it lined it up with what was on the other side. And this will also keep me from at least putting really tall things on here. Need to bleach the board. I normally don't use that I don't cut meats and vegetables and anything on here. I use other cutting boards, but it gives me a nice surface I can do certain things on and not hurt anything. And then when we do like when we butcher a large animal, a deer or a goat, I'm able to bring the stuff in here, and this is, I put another cutting board on the other side so it's even, and then work on here, and it gets a good bleaching before and after. And then I unscrew and we'll wash this, make sure it gets sanitized completely, along with any blood or anything that's left in here afterwards, so it gets a good cleaning. But I really like this because it rolls really nicely. So, and hopefully this is going to work out. I still, since it's today, I'm probably going to be tweaking. I reversed these when the shelf was against the wall. That was right there, and they were reversed. And now I'm going to reverse them, thinking, you know, we use these the most, and these not as much, but often. And I had these more bunched up. I didn't have as many hooks sitting here, so this, like it's new, I'm going to tweak it. I like this color green, just adding a little something different. I know that sounds crazy. I'd use all these things often. With the chai tea, I pour it through these to get, to strain out the seeds and some of the powder out of it that I use. I'll be honest, I've not used this. I plan on it. I keep wanting to. So it's like it's there now to remind me it's not hidden like it was before. And a lot of times, I got those tongs that spring-loaded with the little wire thing on it. But I really like these stainless steel ones, because the spring-loaded ones just get way too big and they'll snap on you, whereas this is it. I like these. So I actually use them for cooking as well as serving. What else? I think that covers it. What do you think? Would you do this in your house? I really like, I like that as my kitchen island, and that and it's sturdy. I mean, you could stand on that if you needed to. I wouldn't personally do that, but you can't say that about other kitchen islands. I bought a more expensive one for my mom, and technically it didn't need wheels. It stays in one place. They don't, since we assembled it, I try to show her that she can move it up against the wall, because a lot of times she liked to do things on the floor, and she needed a floor space, but she ended up just moving more into the dining room to do that stuff. So I do roll that around, and I also have another rolling cart, another video. Thanks for watching.